Alright guys, gonna make some award-winning chili. I got a second, a first, and a first. And so this is the chili cook-off at my work. We haven't done it in a year because of the COVID. That is gone, so I'm going to show you now the ingredient. So first ingredient I'm going to start with is a stick of butter. I prefer the salted. I mean, you don't have to use salted. I basically got pre-chopped sweet peppers, green peppers, onion, Vidalia. It's going to saute this down pretty good. You got 3 pounds of beef. We're going to cook a pound and a half of that. I've got some sausage I'm going to throw in. I'll show that when I'm actually frying it. Pack of the McCormick's Tex-Mex chili, black beans, little sweet baby rays, or what do you call that? Brown sugar, some Frank's Red Hot taste, some white chili beans, some Rotella, some jalapenos, some diced tomatoes, and some kidney beans. So that's kind of the ingredients, and then we'll go over the cooking. Alright, we're at the stove. I like cast iron, but I have to use a Teflon for the bigger part of it. Already got it lit, going low and slow. Let's start by melting the butter, let that melt. Then we're going to dump our onions and peppers in. I could have chopped all this on camera, but who really wants to watch somebody chop peppers? 1,000 guys on the internet, and women, men, ladies, whoever, do it better than me. But the biggest thing to me for a good chili, you've got to have a lot of color. And so we got some white, some green, some yellows, and some red. Put that in there with some butter. We're going to let that cook. We're going to let it simmer down. We'll stir it occasionally. At this temperature, it's probably going to take me about 10 minutes to get it to where I want it. And then we'll cut that off and let it sit. And I'm going to go ahead and pause here. I'm going to put a top on. And we'll come back and I'll go into what we're doing as far as the meat. So let's pause that for now. Alright, we're back about the halfway point. The veggies are starting to reduce. The beef's almost finished browning. It smells amazing. The next steps, obviously, I'm going to cover this back up. Let that go for about 5 more minutes. About 5 more minutes on that. Drain the fat. Then we'll let it cool down a little bit. Combine all the beans, the powders, and all that stuff. We'll get to that. And then we're going to let it simmer for at least an hour. And it should be done. So, 15 minutes into it or so. Probably about an hour left. And we'll be back in a second. Alright, at this point, I'm going to combine the peppers and onions with the ground beef. Not totally brown, not totally soft, but at this point, I'm going to combine it. I'll cook it, like I said, for an hour once I add all the ingredients. Then tomorrow, for my contest I'm entering, I'll have it in a crock pot on low for about 4 to 6 hours. So all this will be very tender, caramelized. So I just want to make sure it gets the butter and the flavor and all that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and take that off. Use an iron. I recommend just a hot pad, which I got underneath me. I don't like the towel so much, but I'm babysitting my mom and her dogs, so my house is a little bit organized by her. So let me get my little hot pad and for the camera. First real cooking video. Let's go ahead and turn this off. Probably be smart. Oops, wrong one. Layer equipment. There we go. With that butter. Oh, look at those. Look how pretty that is. That is gorgeous. Look at all that color. You know, a lot of color equals a lot of flavor. This cast iron's pretty seasoned, so I'll rinse it and wipe it. But for now, I'm going to stick it right here, get out the way. Let's go ahead and incorporate it. And this is the heart of the chili, folks. Good meat with good vegetables equals good flavor. Alright, so I got a phone call. So maybe we'll pause it here and we'll get. Alright, so I've opened up one can of at least one thing of each one I'm putting in there. So some McCormick Tex-Mex chili. You know, this is one of those things to a flavor, so we'll dump that in. I like black beans, so we're going 2 things of Kroger black beans. You know, beans, you can't have chili without beans. Black beans are my favorite, so put those in. Throw those away real quick. Next, you gotta have some kidney beans. Oh, that's starting to look like a chili. Then you gotta have some white chili beans. Do that. Diced tomatoes, always good. Love the chunks. This looks beautiful. Probably gonna put 2 cans in here, but for the video part, I'm gonna put 1. We'll come back to it. Always got to go with some Rotel, tomato, and green chilies. Y'all don't know I like it spicy. So put some of that in there. We've got some diced jalapenos. Now this is where I lose some people, but for me, huge fan. Huge fan of diced jalapenos. If you eat my chili, it's going to be spicy. I mean, some people don't like spicy, and another thing, kidney beans, but I'm a big spicy chili guy. And so now we just got to mix all this in, let it simmer for an hour, and I'm going to add a little bit of sauce, but we'll get to that. So I'm going to go ahead and mix off camera, and we'll get right back to it. All right, next steps. I'm going to add, what we got here, the 12 ounces of the Frank's Original Red Hot for a little spice, and then a little bit of Sweet Baby Ray's for sweet. I mean, you could put brown sugar, but this to me is easier to squeeze it. If you don't like the heat, don't put this in, but I like heat, so bottoms up. Oh yeah. It's going to be nice and spicy. There's going to be no doubt about it. And for those of you who like a little sweet and savory, one good squeeze. Put it back on. Let it simmer for a little bit longer. Continue mixing it. We've got about 50 more minutes on simmering before we let it cool. Transfer it to the crock pot. Chill it in the refrigerator overnight. And then we've got 6 hours on low. And with the leftover hamburger meat, I had 3 pounds of defrosted. I'm making the dogs a hamburger because they've been good, and why not? They deserve a snack. So, all right, been simmering for 30 minutes. Smells good, looks good. I've done the initial taste test. Tastes delicious. Definitely got to go another hour of simmering just to, let the beans and everything get a little bit softer. And like I said, 30 minutes. We're going to turn it off, cool it down, put it in the crock pot for tomorrow, and we'll see what place we come in. But 30 minutes to go. All right, let's pull the lid off, let some steam fly. Go ahead and cut this bad boy off. And that, folks, is a wrap for the day's portion. Everything looks good, it smells good, I've tasted it, tastes delicious, got a little heat. Like I said, if you don't like the heat, don't put any hot sauce in it, but my point is if it's chili, let's put some heat in it. All those peppers and onions and the goodness, little meat, a little sausage. Like I said, I've used this recipe for 5 years at my work cook-off. I've won first place twice, second place once, and the other 2 times didn't place, but can't win them all. But it's going to be some good competitive chili, and hopefully y'all try the recipe out. Let me know what you like about it, what you don't like, and just leave a comment. Alright, until next time.